All right, hey guys, it's 4 o'clock, June 10th. Guess I'm doing these once a day lately. Some good action here. Um, so I'm on Bitcoin. I think we've all been, at least I've been following along here. I wanted this to go a little bit lower, and I still think that we certainly are not out of the woods yet. For us to go get lower, um, even to say that, who knows if this would even hold. If it does, it's just you kind of got to be a buyer down here, at least a little bit. This move up, so that's kind of what I've been watching the last day. I kind of just created a range here of this spike, which has encompassed this whole range here. Um, it's clear that and usually how I identify those is the 50. You get some reactions off the 50 because a lot of times people won't use a fib channel. They'll just throw a channel on this and they'll have a median line through it. That's pretty common. So I just prefer fibs. But anyway, so 50, you're going to see things react off of it. And that's kind of how you can confirm that you have a good range of where you're set, like where you're measuring from, and that you just have a good range in general. Um, so let me get this shit off here. Um, come up to the golden zone. This is obviously really nice to see this channel continue to be relevant and respected. Here, really nice tag there, and then you also get a tag of the golden zone of the range in the opposite direction. Personally, because my bias is lower right now. Um, So that's kind of what we're seeing. At least we did break, we definitely broke, that fib, from here. So a lot of these pivots, this thing broke through a lot of the things. And originally I kind of just thought we would maybe even stop here and roll over. Um, Albeit after I kind of saw what a 12-hour looks like, I was a buyer right there. I haven't sold it yet. Um, I went on the 3 minute. And I'm kind of thinking, if I am gonna trade this, and I might, there are both the pitchforks I have on here are relevant, so I know that these median lines are relevant. Um, if I just measure the low to the high, and I want to see something right in the middle here. Are you kidding me? That would just you just gotta take a swing there. I don't know. I do. I can't not take that trade. And it does get frustrating because the market is just constantly moving against anyone trying to long it. Anyone who's been longing the market is losing money. And I've been losing money. I've been trying to long this thing. Um, I mean, if you're trading it, maybe you're, who knows? But I personally, I think anyone who's been trading this, especially if they want to go longer term, um, keeps making lower lows. Um, But this is such a nice 5-wave structure uh, that it's I don't know, it hits all my check boxes to take the trade. Good subdivision in the third. It's like the perfect length for a 3. Right? That's the 618, 1618. The 5 is pretty comparable to the 1 in terms of distance. Very shallow for very shallow. 236. Not unheard of, just not as probable. Um, so now it's just kind of like I think I do got to be a buyer here. And also a lot of the alts, have been getting beat up. Sorry, I've been flying around on these coins. This is Bitcoin's dominance chart. Um, I guarantee you that if this goes up, you only want to be in Bitcoin because, I mean, obviously it makes sense, but alts truly do just get crushed during these upswings during this. I mean, I remember this was basically all 2018 and 2019, which were awful for altcoins, and it wasn't even good for Bitcoin. Um, so just because this is going up doesn't mean that Bitcoin is going up. It just means that its dominance. It's relative to the alts. Um, so I'm gonna try. What that basically tells me is I'm gonna try to basically be trading Bitcoin for the next few months until something significant and maybe some really strong. If I see some really strong technical setups, coins that are doing really well with Bitcoin, I might pull up a few of those. But even Ethereum is doing worse. So it's all eyes kind of on Bitcoin, in my opinion. Some interesting things as we go down. You want to obviously I want to look to be a buyer somewhere between here. But what can I kind of infer as this thing goes down? We tag the 786 in the opposite direction. First algo target, second algo target, third, and then it even goes down for a fourth, just shy of it, and we get the reaction off. So, I mean, what does it tell me? Really not much right now. It doesn't really matter. I'm not trying to take trades here. You could be maybe a potential scalper here, but I don't think that's enough data to force me to enter a trade. Maybe we'll get some kind of pivot here. Maybe we'll bounce off again, and I don't know. But as structures form, I continue to look at, what will make sense. Potentially if this does, come down, where does that give us? Maybe a second algo target right in the area we want to be a buyer on. If we hit this golden zone perfectly, then it lines up, some of these targets. And I think a few things that I will take a trade here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a clear 5-wave structure in my opinion. It's just, yeah, 5-wave up. We've broken some good fibs in the opposite direction. And I like this because I can probably get a good target here and make this, really a low risk trade. And obviously in an uncertain market, that's kind of where I'm heading now. So something like that. That's a very decent risk to reward, and that's even first target. If this Bitcoin does actually want to start correcting, this structure larger, in the upward direction, you could start to get somewhere up here. Maybe the upper end of this channel, maybe even the top of, the main channel that we've been working off of. It's, sooner or later we're going to come up and maybe test this. Maybe after we come down here, but sooner or later you're going to get a structure that's going to kind of go up a little bit. But yeah, this market does make me feel like, man, this is just relentless. And, is this a potential for a 5? Is that what we kind of have done here? Which is not something you want to see because, oh yeah, it's obvious. But, is this a 5? Maybe if we go down for another, maybe this could maintain as a, I guarantee you other eliticians are going through this. I'm just not going into details. Is this going to maintain an ABC and we just get some wonky finish to this C, and then that's where we start go up? So there's some scenarios alive. I don't know. I just feel like this was a decent, looking on 12 hours, this is a decent, little push up here. But not to forget that we've had these before. And what do? We just come crashing down all the way. I retrace the whole thing. So either this is the the pivot that's going to take us down here, or this is a very good buy and that might take us higher up here. So I think I'm willing to take a trade on this, and I probably will. I just hope that I can get some market structure that will give me more than just buying basically a straight, shot down. But even then, I think I'd still be taking a swing on, these lines, depending on where they hit, the median lines. Yeah, I think I'm definitely going to be trading Bitcoin a little bit more over the next month, at least, minimum. So, all right, that's yeah, that's kind of it for now. Oh, one last thing that I thought was interesting is ICP. Um, I recognize this structure because this is the exact structure that I took on Uni that turned out to be one of my biggest trades of the year. Um, so burn this into your head. I'm going to switch over to Uni, but basically I'm using, this pivot, this pivot, this pivot to get me this algo target and a channel. Um, and on Uni, let's see if I, yeah, I did the exact same play. Um, it was this guy to this guy, to give me this. And I think I even did this one, but I turned out to get stopped out on it. Yeah, that one worked too. I can't remember if I traded that or not. Um, Regardless, I got stopped out on it. This is kind of what it reminds me of is this is why you have to keep taking the trades because, fine, you get stopped out on this and it's just this relentless, kind of grind down for, a full month, even it can feel like a long time, but all you need to do is hit this trade once, um, you know, and you're off to the races. It's just trying to limit your losses as much as possible during these bear markets, which I could have done a better job on, but it is what it is. Yeah, so this setup where I took this trade down here, I was a buyer right there. Added on here. That was a hell of a run. So now going back to the ICP, it's like it's just the same structure of kind of just going down. So if we get here, I'm gonna load up, I think, and do the exact same thing I did to Uni, hopefully. So watching that one. These are the other ones that I'm just kind of keeping an eye on. Again, it's now that we've kind of done it, this looks the far more likely candidate. We're starting to get targets down here that are looking more probable. Which is, the next, 70% drop. Can it happen? Absolutely. I mean, could it ever? And yeah, off this swing right here, right to the touch there. Seeing that on more and more coins, seeing kind of this potential setup to take us down lower. Just doing kind of this stuff. Potentials are popping up, which would, I mean, God, that would be amazing to be able to take, like at this point, to be able to take a trade, down here. It's just the risk to reward is just through the roof. Yeah, can't wait if that happens. That's kind of what I'm rooting for at this point. But Bitcoin's going to be the one who decides whether or not that happens. And to be honest, if Bitcoin's dominance keeps doing what it's doing and it wants to go up here, Bitcoin can still be trending upward and all these other coins could hit those targets. Because during the uptrends, the coins just kind of stay right where they are. And then during Bitcoin's crashes, they continue to make new lows. So that's essentially how it happens. And especially when its dominance is kind of spring-loaded like this, been going down for so long, I could see a gnarly, uptrend, something like that, which, if none of you were trading during this time, was an absolute brutal 133 days to be in alts. Whew. So that's kind of what I'm doing now is just seeing where are the new low targets that I could be a buyer at. Where are the ridiculous spots that if price came down to it, where would I be a buyer? Because a lot of times it happens and it's like, oh man, that's gonna take forever to get down there. Usually it happens in like a day, like a volatile day, just kind of like something like this. So you want to be ready for it before it happens. But right there, yeah, that kind of support resistance right on the 886 heavy volume node. that would be for me. That would be a spot to start accumulating um, a position here. Yeah, that would be something. So yeah, that's kind of the play right now. I think yeah, I'll make this. We'll see how this goes. Probably know in a few days how this trade went. All right, boys. See you guys.